says in the Gemara, Rabbi Eliezer says, person needs to do tshuva moments before he dies. Moments before he dies. So students ask him, obvious question. Well, Rav, does anybody know when they're going to die? He says no. And that's what we teach, that a person that really fears Hashem, a person that wants to have a connection with Hashem, must do tshuva every day. In today's world, we realize that the world that we see today is not the same like it was for our grandparents. Our grandparents, their world was a little slower, even though anti-Semitism has always been around ever since Parashat Shmot. Exodus was the beginning of anti-Semitism. When Paro told his people, let's fool them, meaning let's fool the Hebrew nation into submission, pretty much. That's when anti-Semitism was born. Anti-Semitism has been around since then. It's around today. Unfortunately, anti-Semitism is on the rise. So that part of the world hasn't really changed. What did change is that things are happening faster. What did change is that Hashem is making things happen much quicker than they used to. Where He used to give Am Yisrael a lot of time before they get any type of judgment. If Am Yisrael were sinners, then Hashem will give us time and more time and more time and warnings. If we look all the way back to the Bet HaMikdash, there was years and years of warnings from the prophets before the Choban, before the destruction of Bet HaMikdash. Same thing with the second Bet HaMikdash. Years and years of warnings from the prophets before eventually Hashem delivered His punishment. And His punishment, the reason why I say delivered, not that it's necessarily a good thing that Am Yisrael gets punished, but delivered meaning that Hashem, His signature is emet. His signature is truth. Meaning that whatever He wrote in the Torah must happen. There is no other way. No one can go to Shamayim and say, no, I didn't think you meant it. I wasn't ready. When you were little kids, and you throw the ball and the guy drops the ball, but he's a little bit uncomfortable, he's a little embarrassed. No, I wasn't ready. You can't go up to Shamayim and say, I wasn't ready. I lived in the world for 60, 70, 100 years, I wasn't ready. No such thing. Hashem says, my signature is emet. Whatever I wrote in the Torah, I have to fulfill. Why? Because when I created the Torah, 974 generations before I created the world, I didn't only obligate mankind. I didn't only obligate the animals. I didn't only obligate nature. You have to have a certain amount of oxygen. You have to have a certain amount of hydrogen. You have to have a certain amount of everything. There's gravity. Everything is very precise. But